What's up, you guys? How's it going out there? It is Tuesday. Gosh, I don't know about you guys. It just feels like the days, the weeks, like the months, the years, they all start to go by really fast. I know. Anyway, I am really excited to kind of pop on live here with you guys today, and I'll give people a couple minutes to hop on. It is starting to get a bit warmer here now that I've moved to Arizona, not nearly as cold as it was when in my homeland of Canada. So, hey Sharon, thanks for hopping on. Hey guys, so I'm really excited. This is the first time I've done something like this in a while, and I thought that it would be helpful for me to kind of hop on, because as I grow on my journey, I've been what I'm calling a self-love activist for, it'll be 5 years in September. As I grow through that time, it really has developed quite a significant passion for the mission that I'm on here. And I know that a lot of you guys follow me in social media. I know that we kind of connect every day through screens. And I thought maybe it would be easier if I just went live here and was able to answer any questions that you may have, but really just kind of share my story in a more private setting, in a setting that we could have as a video and you can watch later if you miss it today. So thank you for hopping on. If you're catching this as a recording later, please feel free to message me anytime with any questions that you have. But I want you guys to feel like you can ask questions right here as we go. I've taken to hopping into my husband's office today so he can work out in mine. But I have a snoring puppy on the ground over there. Out cold. So here's hoping he stays snoring while we do this. It's amazing having a puppy again. They're a lot of work. They're just like having a baby. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Not quite, because you can put them in a crate at night and hope that they sleep well. But anyway, thank you guys for hopping on. I don't want this to take forever. I want to get right to the point. And as I said, feel free to ask questions as you go. But if we haven't met before, my name is Bria Evenson. And my whole mission is really to help equip and empower other women to be their best and really like solidify that confidence and that self-love, all through starting with health and fitness. I feel like as women, we end up being our own worst enemies because we haven't locked in that piece of feeling really great for ourselves. We might spend a little too much time looking and comparing ourselves to others or looking for recognition from other people. And although I know that recognition and how you feel can look really good and feel really good, at the end of the day, as you get older and you start to realize, like by having children and how they learn, you start to realize what really matters in life is how you feel about yourself. And the only way to increase that is the pride that happens. Hey, Jess. The pride that happens when you start and you finish something. And I think that's the hardest part for people, right? It's the starting and the finishing and the staying motivated, the getting motivated, the staying motivated. But when we come together as a community, and for me, I've really called it a sisterhood. I'm all about women. It's really only women in my community. So when you come together as that sisterhood, you're reminded that self-love happens. Hey, Tori, look, we're just spanning the globe here. We've got UK, we've got Canada, we've got US all on. Thank you guys for hopping on. It's so nice to see your names. And I really appreciate it. So that's my mission. My mission really is to create this community of women that for ourselves is helping us understand the value of what becomes possible when we put ourselves first, because it's really easy to lose sight of that. And not only that, but you think about what's happening in the world right now, and I will be the first to say I really stay out of the political land, but you think about this whole Me Too and all this stuff that has been going on for women. This is a huge opportunity for us to grab hold of who we are and really redefine what it means to self-love, to love ourselves, to put ourselves first so that our cup is so full it is spilling over into the other people. And we do that by coming together. We do that by making ourselves a priority, by reminding ourselves that we are more and not less, and that we want to be stronger and not skinnier. So that's a huge part of my mission. And just to give you a little snapshot of my story, I kind of like to look at my story as sort of the three S's: self-love, sisterhood, and success. And I struggled for a long time in my teens, and even as young as 7 years old, I remember knowing I was different physically, like noticing the difference in people's bodies. And I grew up with parents, and I still have amazing parents, who told me every day that I was beautiful just who I am, that I could do anything I wanted in this world, that they loved me, never dieting, never showing that side. But somehow society still got inside of me, and I made these decisions about myself that my worth and my confidence determined how I felt about myself and what I was capable of and my worthiness. And I think that's a big thing that so many of us in the sisterhood really struggle with, is what we have decided about ourselves based on what society puts out there. So self-love has been a huge thing, because as I went into my teens and into my early 20s and got myself into a big mess of really feeling like the only time I felt good in my skin and happy for myself was when I had lost weight. I found myself years later after having my first child, and I knew that was unhealthy behavior. I knew that, I even went to therapy because I knew it was unhealthy behavior, but I couldn't quite lock in that piece. So as I understood after having children that treating your body poorly, wanting it to be skinnier and smaller and less, eating less, or binging and purging, or whatever it is that that a lot of women end up doing, as I discovered that and had my child, I knew these fears started coming back to me again. I was unhappy in my skin, and I could see myself wanting to resort back to these negative behaviors that I did not want for my child. And I knew for myself that that was not okay, and that I couldn't go back there. And I was running. This was how I was getting myself, trying to feel better about myself again. And I just couldn't run anymore. I didn't have time. I didn't have energy. I was exhausted after having babies. And I wasn't feeling better about myself. I was focused entirely on being less instead of more. And that was when I first found my first sort of support group of women, and I picked up a workout program that had weights. And, it's funny because the old me may have looked at that workout program, and I really committed to it. I went all in. And I never missed a workout, but the old me would have been focused on that scale. And I think I was in those first few weeks, but what I realized, because I had these women around me supporting me, pushing me to keep going, and I was Googling YouTube videos of women and their results to hear what they were saying. It was their words of encouragement. I realized that what changed in me, yes, was my body, but on a greater level, what really changed was what I felt like I was suddenly capable of. I became stronger than I'd ever been before, and I felt proud of myself again, and I felt confident in what I was able to accomplish. And so that piece of self-love really locked in for me, because I knew all of a sudden when I was getting dressed in the morning, it was like shackles had come off, right? It was like I wasn't feeling so unhappy in my skin. I wasn't waking up at night making these promises to myself to be different. And that was a huge piece for me that really made me understand the value of self-love, that I needed to love myself. And so instead of being so focused on how I felt, I was able to be a better mom. I was able to be a better wife, a better friend, a better daughter. I was able to accomplish more and just feel better about myself in general. So that's sort of the self-love piece. And that's when I realized that I couldn't let this go, that self-love was so important. And the journey to self-love really came when you started something and you accomplished it and you were treating your body in a positive way, with kindness and with exercise and with balanced nutrition, not telling yourself you can't have anything, but just having that balance in there and being kind to yourself. And then the other really big piece, I think that second S for me, was sisterhood. And what I didn't realize, I had kids, I was 27 when I had my first child, so not particularly young, but I was younger than all of my friends. My two very best friends both have 1-year-olds now for their first ones. And I've got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I was much younger than my friends having kids. And what I didn't realize, because I was always that girl that had, I had such a great group of girlfriends, and they were strong-minded and they were driven to succeed. And I always had girls' nights and things like that. What I didn't realize is that even though I had this amazing husband who was really supportive of me and loved me, I didn't realize what I was missing, and I felt lonely. I felt lonely as a woman, as a mom, as a friend. I needed something else. And so as I decided to dive and lean into this creation of a community of I call it the Success Fit Sisterhood, I realized that I had been missing these like-minded individuals. I'd been missing other women who believed in what I believed in, who lifted me up and reminded me what I was capable of, who gave me that same platform to do for them. And I realized as we slowly built over 5 years from just me to now a network of 400 women, a community of 400 women who really align with this same mission of equipping and empowering other women, I realized the power in that. And that it's that piece. It's this sisterhood of coming together. It's this community passion and this shared passion of self-love that will make change happen. They say it takes 5 generations to make change happen. And I don't think we're the first. That's the cool thing. I think we're the third. I think that if we can really make waves and make our snowball bigger, but we need to take this opportunity right now to come together and to grow across the world, but starting with North America and the UK, and come together and really start to grow this sisterhood with a focus on this equipping and empowering other women to love themselves. Because I really feel like we accomplish anything. Like women have magic, I really think. I think we have something special about us, whether it's intuition and it's just this natural feeling of wanting to relate to one another and help each other. And that is something very unique to us. So the third S for me was success. And that was something that's been ingrained in me my whole life. I think that I had an entrepreneur for a father and a nurse for a mother. So even though I don't know that nursing is for me, I think that seeing someone always want to help others and always give kindness to others. And then also seeing my dad on the other side, work hard. Both of my parents had hard work, but that entrepreneurism, it really just drove me towards wanting to make a difference somewhere. And I always sat on the fence. I was such a fence sitter for things. I didn't want to ruffle feathers. I didn't want to cause trouble. I'm a vegetarian. I don't like to talk about it because I want everyone to have their own opinion. But this is something I'm no longer sitting on the fence on anymore. I want to take this opportunity and create something that provides success for women all over, not just in our health and fitness, but understanding that you and me being successful in our own self-love creates the opportunity for success for the women and the generations of girls after us. When they understand that this is what we do, we put ourselves first, we make our self-care a priority, we fill our cup so full that it spills over to other people, and it starts with health and fitness. It starts with being nutritionally sound, not perfect, but balanced. It fills our soul, it fills our body, it fills our muscles, it fills our guts with all the good things and the health and the positivity. When we have success there, that success spills forward into other people. So for me, that third part of my story really came down to wanting to create something, not knowing what it was in the beginning, but wanting to create this community of all of you and all these women to really build that kind of, it's the same concept of, pouring your cup so full that it spills over. If you imagine it like, a tower of champagne, and you're pouring the champagne over. That's what I want. I want to create a movement for us, and it's really starting to grow. And I'm looking for people to want to join this community and join this mission with me. So that being said, that's my story, that's my mission. And when you join the Success Fit Sisterhood, there are different types of what I like to call community members. There's ambassadors, which means people who are just here that believe in, the workouts that we're doing and the products that we're using and the community that we have. And they just want to stay on their journey. They want to have this sisterhood around them. And that's okay. You can be a part of the community and the sisterhood and the mission just like that because you're living it every day. You're working on your goals, you're being your healthiest self, and that's spilling out of you. And that's why I think of that kind of community member as an ambassador. You can be what I like to call a hobby coach or hobby community member, where maybe you want to do what I do and run your own like smaller groups. A lot of what I do and what the other sisters do is that they run these online accountability groups. The same one that helped me create this change in my head and in my heart and in my body. We run these every single month. And so a hobby community member might be someone who occasionally wants to run their own. Maybe they're inspired to run a half marathon or a couch to 5K, or maybe they want to lift stronger than they ever have, or do some type of competition, or just start and finish something and encourage other people to do that. Because come on, let's be honest, it's always more fun when your friends are there, is it not? I mean, we all need a little time to ourselves, but it's so much fun when you do something with your friends, when you're like, I'm pumped to go do this, and it'd be way more fun if you were there with me. Thanks, Tori. I really like to look at it like a movement as well, and I think that it only happens with all of us together. It certainly doesn't start with just me. I can't do this on my own. I need more women to be here with me who believe in self-love the way I do. Anyway, the final kind of community member I like to look at, you've got your ambassador, you've got your hobby, someone who likes to kind of come in and, you know, they've got their own journey. Maybe they have their own passion that they're also working on. But the final membership is really someone who is here to either be a part-time consistent coach like I am, or a full-time consistent coach, depending on what your life is like. So for me, this business has always been part-time. I've always made my family, my kids, my husband, they are my number one. That's my first full-time job. And then after that, I have this. I have a challenge group or an accountability group that I do every single month, and I work on adding people to that and helping people and inspiring people. So there's these three different levels of community members, and you're welcome in at any level, whatever you want, whatever works for you, because it's really about, for us to create a movement, it's about coming together with that shared passion, with that shared belief. I was hearing something and it's still my dog snoring. Okay. So I think when it comes down to that kind of part-time, full-time, that might be where some people have a lot of questions here. I'm just going to open up my computer, but I think if you're wanting to do this full time, a lot of the questions that I get from people is how do I help others? Because as much as you can help people in your community, like the people that you run into every single day, so much about what I've loved about this journey are the women I've been able to meet and connect with online. People that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And I see names of you guys on this call, and a lot of your names I would not have met otherwise if it weren't for social media, and if it weren't for the ability that we have to connect with others through social media. So I always say to new members who want to actually build a business out of this and really make their impact where they're helping other people on the daily, I let them know that no matter what, it always starts with you. No matter what I do every single day, before I do anything else, the three things that I make sure happen: one, I fill up my mental cup by reading or listening to some type of personal development or growth to help me stay motivated, to help me grow and be a better person, a better mom. Two, I get my own workout in. So before I do anything else, if nothing else happens in the day, that one happens, because I know that I am shining my brightest light when I take care of myself first. And three, I make sure my nutrition is as good as I can get it for that day. Not perfect. I definitely ate fudge last night, which I still think is part of a perfect balanced diet. Lots of wine. You get to make that piece for you, but making sure that you're fueling with premium, that you're taking care of that body, and that you're fueling your mind. Yes, self-development is so key, because it's really easy in this world. You know, you catch the news for 5 minutes and it can sink you down so fast into a negative hole. So you got to battle that with something high and positive. So it always starts with you. The next part is following a very specific system. If you want to be successful in this, I have created a system that has worked for and continues to work for me, but it's just like fitness. If you want results, you can't just work out occasionally or like here and there. You need that consistent piece. That's so important. And so what I do is what I give to the community members who want to run their business, who want to take this opportunity and spread this mission far and wide, is I give you my system, and I'll train you on my system and help you work on your skills around the system so that you can follow it to a T as well every single day and share in the same success that I've had as well. And I would say if what you wanted really was to build this as a business, you need to be prepared to commit about 10 hours a week. But in order to be a community member, you don't have to commit anything. You just need to be a part of our community. You need to believe in what we believe in and show up for yourself, which is always that number one rule, I think, especially in our community. It's that self-love piece. It's the foundation that this community has and this sisterhood has been built on. So the last bit I think I'd like to cover, in case there's any questions for anyone, is just to understand what it means really to be a part of the Success Fit Sisterhood. I really feel like when you join, you're a part of the community, you're a part of my tribe. A tribe of women who realize the value of equipping and empowering themselves to make self-love a priority through health, fitness, balance, fun. This is about the positive. It's not saying we don't have negative things that go on through our lives. I had a heck of a week with my family last week with some tough stuff. We all go through that, but it's understanding that you have a community around you that's going to pick you up when you fall down, that's going to remind you why you matter and why you need to keep carving out this little piece of self-love just for yourself every day. Jess, I'm so thankful that you're a part of it too, and I feel like we wouldn't have connected if it weren't for this, so I'm really grateful for that. You can stay on your journey long term. So a lot of people want to just come in and be a part of the community because it helps them stay motivated. I'm 37. How old am I? Oh my gosh. I'm 37. That's crazy. 37, 36. Guys, I'm 36. I don't know where I lost a year there. I'm 36 years old, and it took me until I was 31 to find consistency in my health and fitness. And you want to know what happened when I was 31? I started building my community at 31. That's what it was. So many people come here and they just want to be a part of something that keeps them motivated and keeps them accountable. Because you get access to my challenge groups. You get access to the challenge groups of the other tribe members, of the other sisters. You know, a lot of, especially the ones that are running like full-time and part-time coaching businesses, you get access to their groups. They're always welcome. We're a sisterhood here. You're always welcome to come and join and have that type of encouragement and accountability. So you get to stay on your journey and you're encouraged to do so. Depending on where you're living, it costs anywhere from like $30 to $40 or $50 to become a coach. But most people, when they join, they've already fallen in love with the workouts and the nutritionals that we do. So it's actually free to sign up to coach as long as you have either previously purchased one of those packages to join one of the challenge groups that I run or someone else has run, or that you're purchasing it at that time. And then being a part of the community is really just, it's $15.95 US or pound a month, and then it's $17.95 Canadian a month. But you get 25% off of anything you order. So even if you are just here as a part of the community because you love it, because you love what we do every single day, you end up saving money on whatever products and programs that you're following through on. And nothing's ever expected of you. You can just come in, be a part of the community, stay on your journey, come in and out of the challenge groups. As long as you pay your member fee, then you don't have to, nothing else is required of you, and you can cancel anytime. But some people just sign up to be a part of the tribe purely for the discount because it creates that value for them, and most of them stay because they know the Success Fit Sisterhood is so strong. You do have access as a community member to my team calls, my trainings and systems. I am an open book. I would call, Tori, it's a great question. I mean, for me, the Success Fit Sisterhood is my movement, absolutely. But I do use programs and products created by someone else because I'm not a personal trainer or a nutritionist. I'm really much more of what I like to think of, as I said, a self-love activist. What I use are these things that I know are proven based on my own experience. They're the things that have changed my mind, my body, my heart. And that I know are clean and healthy. And so I don't typically deviate from those programs or products. But the sisterhood, the community, that is all me. When you come into my community, that came from me, it came from the other leaders in my team, and it did not come from anywhere else. So that is our movement for sure. But I feel like people can absolutely come in and do whatever is working for them as long as they align with our mission, vision, and values. So that being said, what else was I going to say? Yeah, so you have access to my team calls and trainings and systems if you want to run your own groups, depending on those things. If you want to just be here for the sisterhood, that's amazing. The idea here is to help propel you forward towards your own self-love and success, and to surround you in that sisterhood. I love seeing you on this call, Tori. Thank you guys. Thanks guys for hopping on. And finally, I think... well, you can always invite people in as well. You're welcome to invite people in, and they are always can be a part of the other groups that are being run. So even if you want to be a community member but you don't want to run groups, you're welcome to invite people in, and they are always invited into our challenge groups. And just know that you have that support at all times. But I think of this Success Fit Sisterhood really as my team, my family, my closest friends. And they are, I still have some amazing friends that aren't into this community, but for the most part, because my values run so deep and because I've stopped sitting on that fence, I'm very passionate about making this change. And this is where a lot of my energy goes beyond after my family, right? I think that we are in this together, and we're here to help each other when we struggle, right? Because we all go through tough stuff in life. I don't even feel like I need to say it all out loud, because there's a lot of really awful, tough things that we all have gone through, are going through, and will have to go through. But what never changes is that we need to love ourselves. That relationship we have with ourselves is so important, and supporting it and being in a community of other women who want to encourage you and not create shame around the fact that you want to feel good in your own skin and carve out time for yourself is so critical to our success. But you can come and go in the community. There's no expectations. You don't have to stay. You can leave at any point in time, and there's nothing required of you. Anyway, I just love you guys. Congratulations. Jennifer says she's a new community member. That's awesome. 2 weeks in. That's great. We should connect after this, Jennifer, in case I can help as well. But thank you, Tori. Thanks for your kind words. I hope that this has helped shed a little light, you guys, on what it is that this community does and what it is that we're trying to create here for other people. I remember early on when I said to my dad, and as I said earlier, my dad was an entrepreneur, and I remember him saying to me that he had a friend who focused on building a community, something like this early on. And he had a sign in his office that said, "I'm just looking for the people who are looking for me." And I loved that. It had made such an impact on me early on, because I know that not everyone is ready. Not every woman is going to be ready for something like this. But at some point in time, now that it's been 5 years in, a lot of the women that I invited to join me in this community that weren't ready then have all come around and joined me now. Inevitably, love wins, right? We have a choice. We can choose love, we can choose fear. And if we're here in this world to make an impact, to be positive, even if your impact is just on your family, which is where so much of our impact really should start with, right? When we're teaching our children to love themselves for who they are, when we're teaching ourselves to love ourselves and build that relationship with ourselves, just caring about that piece and focusing on love and being surrounded by it is such an important, critical part of what we do. Love wins every time. So I hope that this helps you guys. And if you are at all interested in joining the community, if you want to have a conversation, I'm very serious about the people that come on and the sisters that come on. If you want to have a messaging back conversation, please feel free to do that. You can email me at briaevensonfitness@gmail.com. You can reach me through my website, briaevensonfitness.com, or right here through Facebook, or we can have a phone call. We can have a live video chat. What I love the most are the women I get to work with in this journey. And I know that I'm inspired every day by you guys, and you make me better. You push me to be better. You help me make a difference in this world. And that's what I want more of. So if I can provide time that way, if we can connect, I would love to do that. I'd love to have that opportunity. And I just want you to find the light within. So when you focus on loving yourself, I think that we shine very brightly on our own. And Tori, you're in a gospel church. That's funny. I wonder what you're making for dinner. I can't even see. It says see more, but now I want to know what you're making for dinner. Anyway, I just think that we have an opportunity here as women right now in 2018. And it always starts with us. It starts with us loving ourselves, coming together with other women who believe in loving themselves and caring and making a difference. And when we lead with that, that's when our movement really takes root. So I hope that you'll consider joining us. I hope that if any of this has connected with you or touched your heart in any way, I hope that you will reach out and recognize that if nothing changes, then nothing changes in this world. So you have an opportunity to be a catalyst of change, and I am here with other women changing, and I hope that you'll take that leap of faith and ask the questions that you want to ask. Have an amazing day, you guys. Evening if you're in the UK, afternoon if you're in the Eastern Standard of North America, and we're still in the morning over here in the Pacific Northwest. So have an incredible, incredible 24 hours. Love to you all, and go make a difference in your life and someone else's. Bye. Bye.